All right, we are here at Etowah at this beautiful, newly renovated softball, I call it complex. I don't know what you guys' official name for it is, but looks unbelievable in here. We have a very special guest, and I'm going to let this young lady introduce herself at this time.
I am Bella Owen, and I'm going to be a senior at Etowah High School.
Bella, appreciate you taking time off from your summer to sit in with us. It's always a treat to get to learn about student athletes in and around the area. This one definitely one that we've been needing to do. I knew your mom, went to high school with your mom back in the day, so she'd been talking to me about interviewing you, and we finally got time. I know you've been super busy, and we have as well, but the day's here. Let's rewind the clock a little bit. Take us back, the early days when you were coming up. When did you first start picking up sports, and what was your first sports you started playing?
I played softball my whole life, for as long as I can remember, but I believe my first sport was soccer. I don't remember much of that time, but I have played softball for as long as I can remember. Started in t-ball and haven't really stopped since.
When you first started playing sports back in the day, what were some of the traits or habits you picked up even back then that's kind of helped you further along in your career?
Probably just having fun, just not having to take it so serious all the time, and just remembering that it's just a sport at the end of the day and it doesn't define who I am and my entire life.
So although you're a multi-sport star here at Etowah, you've kind of migrated towards softball being your number one sport. What was it about softball that kind of stood out amongst all the other sports?
Definitely. It's always came natural to me, and I have just always loved it. It's never been a time where I've been like, I didn't enjoy it and couldn't figure out something that I enjoyed out of every single game or every single practice, and it was just always a good time, and I just love everybody that I've always played with, and even if I didn't, I just love the sport.
Yeah, the sport of softball itself, it seems like each and every year has gotten bigger and bigger. You watch some of the ratings on ESPN now, it's as high as the baseball championships, which is simply incredible. But from your perspective, kind of coming up in this new era where it is more dominant, we got social media that promotes it all the time. You got high-end athletes. You got teams like Oklahoma that's won so many championships. What's it been like coming up in this era, because it's very competitive now from travel to high school?
So it's definitely been a learning experience. Every year it gets more. I learn more about how to get recruited and how to just be the best softball player that I can be, and it's a lot to do with social media and who you know and getting your name out there and finding contacts and just being seen. And I have learned that more and more every single day, actually. And I just try to do my best. And
yeah, putting the work in, you do a lot of stuff you're not asked by your coaches to do, a lot of work outside. Right. You also play travel. What do you think is the biggest difference between school ball and travel ball?
So I think the biggest difference is in travel ball, it's not really about who you are, it's more about how you play. And in some cases, which it's gotten a lot better here at Etowah, so I will say that. But anyways, some cases I have been put in a place where I feel like I should have played more, or I feel like I should have been treated a little differently. But in travel ball, I feel like you're more equal to everybody, as long as you.
Well, you're there for a reason,
right?
For one, right?
And everybody wants to. A big difference in travel ball is some people in high school play to just say they play, and in travel ball, I feel like if you're there, you really want to play and go play in the future.
Yeah, because you're not asked to be there. You want to be there. I understand that. Now, you have some incredible coaches, and two of which is sitting in this room with us right now. Your staff's changed a little bit over the years, but talk about your staff that you have in place now and how they make you a better player.
The staff that we have here at Etowah now is the most inspiring, and they just always lift you up, even whenever like I've had some rough games and I've had some slumps, and they always know how to help me in my own way, because I'm pretty hard-headed, so they know that, and they know how to work around that and do what they need to do to get me out of that slump, as long as I can work with them. So
absolutely. You have been blessed to play with some incredible athletes that's come through and played softball. From Sydney to LA, there's tons. I'm Jaylee Devine. There's tons more that I could sit here and name a ton of them. What have you learned from those girls that were just up ahead of you a couple of years, watching them play probably from the stands, and then as well as being on the same field as some of those girls?
So, Jaylee Devine is who inspired me the most to be who I am. I'm actually number 10. I have her jersey. This is her jersey right here that she wore. But honestly, I remember one practice. I don't know if she remembers it, but it was probably my 8th grade year, and they pulled me aside and told Jaylee to come help me. And she helped me drop step. And ever since then, I've just followed ever since that practice, I paid attention to everything she did and really just took everything I could out of what she does. And I'd like to say I built on that. And she really helped me in a lot of ways.
Yeah, she's an incredible athlete. One of the best pure athletes, like athletically, that we've seen from a female, period, in any part of the state since Average Joe started. You've kind of migrated into that leadership role over these last couple of years. Can you talk about that, and how has that been for you? Because now a lot of the younger girls are looking up to you.
So we've always been a young team since Jaylee and them graduated. So after that, it was just, we really only had the sophomores. We were all a sophomore team. So someone had to step in every time Coach Carter, just about every practice, someone had to step up. And so I just tried my best to do what I could, and without overstepping, because I was a sophomore. And we did have a few upperclassmen. But it's been really helpful in life and in sports in general to have had stepped up so early on, when most people wouldn't until they're a junior or even senior.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. You've been called upon. It's actually a blessing. Some people would look at it as a curse. They're like, I'm not ready for this or whatever, but you took it on, and the rest is history. What do you think, or what is your thoughts on? There's a girl in the stands watching you. You're her Jaylee. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Talk about that a little bit and how you can impact a young lady like she had. You wearing this number 10. I promise you, there's girls in the stands right now that look up to you like that. First of all, how does that make you feel? And second of all, what are some of the words of wisdom you could share just through this video? Because there's going to be a ton of them watching this video.
I'd say it pushes me to always, especially in games, to go 100% and leave everything on the field and not have a bad attitude and have good body language no matter what happens, and show girls that it's okay to make errors or mistakes, and because I've made some stupid mistakes, and I just try not to get in my head, because that's what I did a lot when I was younger. So I just try to stay out of my head, because that's a huge thing, especially with our team, because we're still pretty young other than the seniors, and I've seen it a lot with the younger girls being in their head a lot. And I'd say just it's okay to make an error, and that's once you learn that, the game's a lot more fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's I can see one thing I say about you guys when I watch you play. I think I came to like 5 of you guys' games this year. Everybody's smiling in the dugout, and I was it here or at Sardis? One of the games where you guys were losing big time, and then all of a sudden, boom! Y'all snapped and went off so many runs. I can't remember where it was. But even when y'all were losing, y'all were having fun. Talk about that atmosphere of this team and these girls around you, and how you always seem to stay upbeat. I know the coaches have some influence on that, but ultimately the best teams are player-led.
Right. All of our coaches preach stay up constantly no matter what's happening. And we have this thing where we fake it till we make it. If we're in our head, if we get about 30 seconds to have our moment, and then we move on. And we're hyping up our teammates or back in the game and not worrying about what we just did or the last at bat. We're just always trying to look forward. And that's in the beginning of the season last year, we had a problem with that. And they'd score a few runs on us, and then we'd not be able to score again. And so we really tried to, throughout the season, we got really good at staying up and consistent and not getting in that slump of the game. And I think it really showed in the end how much we had worked on that.
Positive attitude can take you a long way. I don't know any situation that's ever gotten better with a negative or very angry attitude.
Right.
That goes over into life. It's the same thing. One thing with Etowah, it's like every year it seems like you guys are in the playoffs or making a run or at the state or whatever. What do you think it's going to take for this group of girls to get over that hump and go on to that next level and really compete for the state championship?
I really think it's very possible with the group that we have. It's just going to take positivity and work. I think a lot of the girls, if they just put in a little bit more work, like all it would take is 30 minutes after practice or 30 minutes on the day off, or it's just something so simple that it's so doable. And I really think if we all just can jump right back into where we left off in last season, that we'll have a good run.
No doubt. I know that obviously that's your goal, be to win a state championship, probably first and foremost, but what are some of the other personal goals you have for yourself, or maybe even standards you're setting for yourself this season?
So I have a personal goal of hitting or overdoing my home run, I guess, record.
Total,
yeah. I hit 11, I believe, last season, so I hope to one up that at least. And another goal is to be committed before the season started.
How hard is that? Blocking that out, having to talk to coaches. I don't know, you probably got multiple coaches talking to you pretty regularly, but how difficult is that to kind of, it's very, very important, but you also got a lot of work to do. You don't want it to affect that.
It's actually really difficult, and I never, ever would have imagined it being so difficult. It's a really stressful process, but it's worth it. I think in the end it'll be worth it, and I'm just trying to make the right decision. So
we've had athletes on anywhere from like Ace Austin to Kool-Aid, and you just name them. We've had them on, and they've all had different opinions on it, and a lot of them says it's kind of frustrating, but then when they do make that decision, it's kind of a relief. It's like they can breathe again. What's it going to take if maybe there's a lot of college coaches who are going to watch this? What are you looking for in a school that's something that kind of like, I've got to have this or I'm not going to that place?
The main thing I'm looking for is a team that's a coach that's going to be as supportive, or at least halfway as supportive as the coaches that I've played for and are playing for, and just a positive team that likes to win but knows that you're going to lose. So.
Absolutely. It's how you handle it.
Right.
Because you're going to win and lose in life, so might as well get used to it in sports as well. Now, recently you've made a trip across the pond, so to speak, to play some softball. I want to talk to you about that a little bit. For those who don't know, just enlighten everybody where you've been.
So I just recently came back from Sydney, Australia, and we played in the International Cup.
How was that, first of all? And we're going to ask you about the games in a second, but how was the trip itself? How was Australia? For those of us who's never been, I've never been there. I've been to a lot of places, but never there. But how was Australia as a whole outside of sports?
It was very different, but I loved it. It was amazing. It was nothing like the United States. They drive on the wrong side of the road. Me and my mom joked about it being a left-handed country because everything's just backwards. And I think it's made for me.
You're left-handed, so yes. That makes sense. The scenery, how was it? Did you stay in Sydney, or did you get to go? We
stayed a few days in Sydney, and then we went to the Gold Coast.
Okay. So did you get to see any of the wildlife stuff there or no?
We did. We went to a wildlife sanctuary and pet kangaroos, and I held a koala bear.
I bet that was awesome.
Yes.
Now let's talk about the games there and the competition. What kind of competition did you see there?
So we actually seen some really, really good competition, and a few pitchers that would probably be D1 if they came to the States, and that's many of their goals. We also seen some that weren't so good, and they were just playing because they genuinely loved the sport, and it was just amazing to see. No matter if they were losing or winning, they were just there to have fun, and they always kept a positive attitude. Like, they would be down by 20, and they would still be cheering each other on and cracking jokes and smiling, and just doing the best they could and enjoying the sport.
Did you get to connect? I know your mom talked something about you may have swapped jerseys. Did you get everybody's Instagram, things like that? How did that go? And have you got to communicate with some of the girls since you've gotten back?
Yes, so actually everyone I talk to, we either follow each other or we add each other on Snapchat or we have each other on some form of social media. And I actually talked to one of them today.
That's cool.
And yes, this is the only jersey that I have left. I went with 3 and a hoodie, and I left with that.
That's awesome.
And I picked up a few new jerseys from there and a New Zealand hoodie.
That's legit. Now that you're back, luckily for you, we got a while before softball season, but these fall sports and things are coming up. What's your main goal right here? School's about to be starting back in a week or two. I don't know when you guys start back, but it's about to be starting back. Talk about some of the goals, some of the things you got to get done, like basically now till softball season.
So my main goal is to be consistent and not take any more than a week off and stay in the cages and stay doing drills and stay in the gym and just not let it go and not have to come back rusty and have to come back rusty, because that's my biggest thing is whenever I do come back rusty and then I'm not that as good as I know I can be, I get in my head and then it's just not a good start to the season.
A couple more questions before I get you out of here. Talk to us about your life here at Etowah. Etowah is a special place. I went to school here. Your coach went to school here. It's a very unique place. Etowah's at home for a lot of us, What's it been like for you personally here at Etowah?
So it's been a roller coaster. My freshman year was amazing. It was the best year ever. We won state in baseball, and I made so many new friends. And then it was like everyone left. And so then I had to work my way into building my own life here and like finding my own path. And it's been pretty good since then. It's been up and down, but for the most part, I've found my happiness, I guess.
No doubt.
In my own way and not through others.
Yeah. Next question is, this facility we're sitting in, we talked about when I first got here, how much it's changed. New floor, new locker room, coach's office is done. You have all kind of stuff in here. On my way in today, I see the fences down. They're redoing the stadium, which they've already done some stuff to the stadium. A lot of that's changed. Talk about that, how special that is, because I'm just going to be honest with you, and I'm saying this on camera. I go to a lot of schools, and softball in a lot of places is way down the list. It don't even, we got a check mark, we play it, but we're not going to dump time, effort, and money into it. But here, that's not the case. You can look at this video and what we got around us, but it's special and it means something here. Talk about that a little bit.
So I think all the renovations and everything should tell you how much our coaches put into us. And it truly is crazy that how hard Coach Carter and all the other coaches work. And it's just, I'm glad to be able to play and play for a coach and coaching staff like they are. Yeah,
and one that cares about the facility and everything. Before I shut this video down, I always like to close like this. What is something you'd like to say to maybe your parents, your community that supported you, even the little girls that watch on the sidelines before you close out? Just something you'd like to say to them, thanking them for all their support throughout the years.
Yeah, I definitely thank everyone, my mom, my community, and everyone that's just showed up. And no one understands how much just showing up means. And for everyone, for the players watching, my biggest thing is just love the game. And if you don't love the game, it's not going to be fun. And to love it, you've got to understand that it's okay to mess up, and it gets better. It gets better.
I really appreciate you sitting in with us. Thank you so much for this interview, and we're looking forward to following your career and seeing who you choose. So thank you so much.
Thank you.